Tell me why be like that, be like that. Tell me why I gotta always be like that, be like that, be like that. Man, I'm not gonna lie to y'all right now. I did not even want to go live, but I told y'all I'm going live daily. I'm making this, I feel this obligation to the people that rock with me, to the people that want to hear what I got to say, especially about things of this nature, especially when I'm in the midst of the controversy or people close to me, and it's a situation that involves me directly or indirectly, etc. So, shouts to all y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. I really do not want to. I'm tired. I'm trying to kick back, smoke some weed, listen to music with my girl, watch a movie. I'm not trying to do this, but I'm finding the strength within to weather the storm. And really, it ain't nothing because all I'm doing is really chopping it up with y'all. You feel me? The Bot Mafia. So I feel I've been exhausted, if I'm being honest. Um, my girl laughs at me all the time because she doesn't. My girl does like rip. My girl does manual labor. She's like essentially does not even essentially. She legitimately does paiso work for a living. And she doesn't take what I do seriously as far as what it takes out of me and how rigorous it is just because it involves like such little physicality. She doesn't understand how taxing it is and how exhausting it is and how little I get to recharge my social battery. Even in the moments where I'm relaxing, I have to be focused on what's going on, intaking and collecting data. And I'm not complaining about it because this is my life and I love it and I'm grateful. I love my job. I love my situation. I love the fact that I got this channel. I love my music. And I know in order for it to be successful and be self sustaining and me to actually do something with it, I got to be consistent. So, all I ask of y'all, if you rock with me, if you don't and you're just here to troll, that's cool too. But if you rock with me, hit that like button, share, subscribe, run it up. Uh, give a player some preferential treatment in that young algorithm. You feel me? We gotta do this together. So I need y'all hit that like button. That's for the free ski. That's for the free ski. Now, if you want to be on a higher, I ain't got no sponsors. I seen LA Icon the other day when I was watching this podcast, and he was like had all these sponsors. It reminded me of the battle rap events I throw, or the just me working in a more corporate professional sphere when it comes to the content that I've created in the past. Right now, I'm out the mud with it. This is independent. This is in the spirit of E40 and Mac Dre. I'm out the motherfucking trunk. So that means that my only sponsors are y'all. So if you feel like it and you want me to chop it up about something specific, or you feel like, you feel me, you got something to shoot, just know that loot will help a player compute. So make it all make sense. You feel me? Like I said, y'all are my sponsors. It is on y'all generosity that I continue to be able to push the line for y'all. But remember, it's free to hit that like button. So hit that like button for free. Shoot a super chat if you got it, and I'll address whatever you want to talk about. Good, bad, ugly, etc. You feel me? Ava Mendez, Jessica Alba, Amy Schumer, good, bad, and ugly. I'm with all that. Meth Drip Lamar, the mayor of MacArthur Park, you feel me? Trying to get off Alvarado with this one. You know how we come in every single time. You feel me? The domestic whip crasher. I'm off of Buzzy as we speak, so it's BBL Uno, the white Bricc Baby, doing the most. And I'm pretty, I want to know what y'all thoughts are as well with this whole entire controversy. My dog, my nephew, my homie for real, someone I actually care about. Had it's been a crazy road. It's been a crazy journey, but almighty suspect is no longer, after being the longest running staff member, I believe, besides Poetic Flacco, and I'm saying as far as on camera talent is concerned, uh, very unceremoniously removed from No Jumper, and I'm kind of sick about it. I'm really not happy. I feel, first of all, just like on a personal level, frustrated because it seems like it's huge hurdles that I'm able to gel with anybody. I'm the illest. I could do a pod with anybody. It don't matter. I'm an amazing conversationalist. Hey, they say good cellies lay on their belly and got KY jelly. Hey, I might not be built like Rich Grinder in that regard, but what I am is an amazing user of words. I speak, I spit. Poor choice of words in this context. Maybe I'll just not use the word spit. But am I have a way with words. I really, really do. And I could get along with and converse with anybody, and have progressive, interesting dialogue. I think if you look at a lot of the classic combos, or just juxtapositions, or even the random combinations of characters that have been put together, which wound up working really well on No Jumper, you'll see Lush Uno as an ingredient several times, several times, and the chemistry. I feel like with Almighty, we had reached an all-time high. We've been locked in for a minute, and other than Bricc and of course Adam, I feel like Almighty was somebody that I was really getting dialed in with. I mean, I know a lot of people love to see me with Comparator. I think me and Flacco have really good dialogue. Hell, I think me and Bucci Bear have incredible debates, and I love, as even though he's janky as fuck, I like having Bucci Bear as an enemy. I like Deviant Brandon as an enemy when it comes to this botting and arguing and rebuttals, and I'm down to be an enemy. I'm down to be an enemy of Brandon when it comes to debates and content. But I feel like it's there's that one episode of you ever see that episode of Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner, where them motherfuckers, like, at the beginning, it's like they're clocking into a job. They punch their time card, like, "Hey Bill, how you doing? Hey, what's up, Sam? Da, da, da. But how are the kids? Oh, the kids are great." And they put on their fucking hard hats, but no, they don't put on their hard hats. Their job is chasing each other. Or Wiley, her Roadrunner, has to pester and outrun Wiley Coyote, and they both clock in every day. And that's kind of how I feel like with Bucci Bear. I feel like he could be a worthy enemy. He could be a really worthy enemy. Um, Now, Almighty Suspect, we really like, it's funny, like, you get to know somebody through there. I have a lot of homies with kids. I'm 42 years old. I'm one of like the rare occasion of the homies of my age group that don't have kids are significantly outnumbered. Like, my homies started having kids in their teen years, but definitely in their 20s and 30s for sure. And I'm like one of the only ones that ain't got kids. Rifleman LA Cool was never like a everyday homie that I kicked it with. He's someone that I started out just like looking up to and admiring and watching him rap, and then he became aware of what I did and started popping up at events and that I was throwing, and we became cool and we became friends, and he became like a mentor to me, and like a big bro, and Suspect I've known since he was a child. Y'all know the lore. He been around. I don't even remember the first time I met or seen Almighty Suspect. That's how long I've known him. I just know he was young as fuck. You feel me? Like, little, you feel me? A jit. Straight up. Way younger than Jada Mack and all them. Way younger than, maybe like the same age as Lil Manos. Like 2K Lil Manos. But, I've known bro for a fat minute. At first, it was kind of like, okay, you see him, and I could tell, oh, cool son is a badass kid. I knew he was a badass little babies. You feel me? Was outside running him like he wasn't dumb. You could tell he was intelligent. You could tell he understood hip hop and was a student of that and was around his pops and his pops homies who were and brothers and cousins and all that. So like that's a huge circle to be born into. Um, by the way, my sponsors are kind of lagging it today. Where's my young super chats, bro? You gonna make me look like a, you gonna make me look like a some type of way. Y'all don't start putting it in my palm. With that being said, I do appreciate the 217 viewers and 37 likes. Let's try to get those up as well. Come on, man. But like knowing Sus for that long, and then like actually seeing him pop up as an artist himself and being successful and being cool with him, and us just like developing our own friendship outside of the context of LA Cool was also was really lit, and I really appreciated that. And I never looked at Sus on a like, I never considered he's not like a lil homie, uh, um anything like that. He's a younger homie that has done a lot for his age, and despite kind of making some crazy decisions and getting himself in a lot of trouble at a young age, going to the halls, getting locked up, fighting various cases throughout his life. But and then but like the thing that I've talked about Sus, and I'll just like say it one more time that I really appreciate is Glaze Fest. Yeah, you got it. I'm a glazing. I'm glazing. This is a problem with your motherfucking generation, right? This is a problem with a lot of you kids. Y'all do not understand that passion for something that you love and speaking highly of other people. That was never considered glazing. You guys made that glazing, but sure, if that's glazing, then I'm glazing. $5 from Bishop Rojas. Sus finna use this setback to become Pimp of the Year 2025. Heels in the trunk and eyelashes in the cup holder. You dig? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Um, you probably not wrong. Allegedly. You probably not wrong. Allegedly. And that's like what I'm not psyched about, because I know that that's one of the things I was gonna be getting to is the fact that this guy got a family, this guy got kids and all that. But and there's people that didn't want to see him win. And it's like, Brandon, I have a severe problem with certain things that he's doing. I'm gonna talk about it all on the debate tomorrow with him, but I mean, how you guys explain to me how like Brandon gonna go from saying he wants to see Suspect step it up, rise to the occasion. He believes in him. He wants to see him win as a black man. And then you gonna go and knowing that he has issues with impulse control or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Or when you guys are gonna use some gay ass phrase like impulse control. I'm gonna say it like this. When a motherfucker gonna react a certain way because he was raised with a certain set of standards and morals, and he stands on business when it comes to that. And regardless. Now, it's easy to be like, oh, Sus was calling him a bitch. Da, 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 da. Brandon knows that he's more mature. That the whole claim that Brandon has is he's trying to uplift Sus. That wasn't the case. It's at least acknowledge that you don't give a fuck about the future success or anything regarding Almighty Suspect. Just say that you don't, not that you don't now, because it's like a different situation. He doesn't like spat at you and fucking allegedly tried to, you feel me, a poker on you. But with all that being said, just acknowledge that you never gave a fuck about him. All right, and and you tried to flu flame the whole situation, and you did. Brandon. Brandon's up on the scoreboard. Brandon is up on the scoreboard. And you know who took a L? You know who took a L? All of No Jumper. We are down. Like, if this was a if this was the streets, if this was like, you feel me, two different hoods beefing, we'd be getting spanked right now. Belt to ass, belt to ass, by Brandon. And he's like a King Von type character. He's like the Reaper. He's the EBK J-Bo of the podcasting space. He's systematic. We're literally more down on the scoreboard. And if you really look at it, like, Long Beach has been kicking the shit out of No Jumper, and that's cool because I fuck with I'm not trying to make this a Long Beach thing, and I'm not even trying to make Long Beach responsible for Brandon or whatever, especially because he don't gangbang and he's like, so there's no real point of claiming a city like that. And I mean, yeah, you could be like, oh, I race here, I'm from here, but when it comes to like street shit, when you dropped your flag and you're like down to cooperate or whatever, all that Long Beach shit, though, you're not moving in accordance, you're not from that card. Yeah, like, hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not trying to read chats unless they super chats. But I did just I seen that fool Kizza. He be in here all the time. He said he should have just gone outside. I'll say that, like, that was the biggest mistake Sus made, was he should have just gone outside at that moment. And like, instead of doing the spitting shit, he should have just gone outside. You know what I mean? But maybe he's thinking in his head, like, Sus know when it gets cracking, it's gonna be cracking, and like, it might could involve something else because Brandon is not like, when you that much bigger and you that, I'm not saying like, hey, you turn down a fade, you turn down a fade, period. But you can't really there's no other ambiguity when it comes to that. But if it's not your homie and you're not gonna give him a fair one, shit, and maybe suspect is like, I don't want to go to jail. I don't know I don't really want to hurt this guy that bad. I hope that's what he was thinking. You know what I mean? By not going outside in that moment. But the thing is this. So beyond Brandon having a clear lack of like, it's cool that you're like putting belt to ass on No Jumper. You think No Jumper probably epitomizes a lot of the negativity. It glorifies things that you are outspoken against. And Brandon has made that quite clear. Like, he thinks drill music is one of the most negative, and it's difficult to argue the point. There are arguments against it, like I did, and like the fact that there have been a lot of people whose lives have been bettered as a result of them and their communities profiting and then being able to transcend the poverty that they grew up in through drill music. And I gave several examples of individuals who were able to do such. However, the casualties and the people who are on the negative side of that, the probably outweigh that. So it's a tough position to take. But what does No Jumper cover? Up and coming rap music. What is one of the most dynamic and explosive and dominant genres over the past decade? Well, it's obviously drill music, right? So he doesn't believe in that being platformed. He doesn't believe in that being he wants there to be more intellectual discourse. To me, like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, like, I think a well-balanced diet, which is something, if we're being honest, Brandon doesn't know much about, because, I mean, look at him, bro. Like, Brandon clearly eats obscene Americanized portions. It's crazy that he has such a global perspective when it comes to black unity, but he's so American when it comes to the portions he chooses to eat because he's so fat. $2 from Juju Rose. She said, Brandon, big deep freezer built ass need to go. He did that roadblock head motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie to you. Hey, cheeks. He cheeks. But Brandon, like, Brandon doesn't understand, like, you have to have a well-balanced diet. And me, I like to eat healthy food. Sometimes you want some sushi. Sometimes you want, you feel me, some grass-fed veal scallopini. I don't know what, yeah. You want this, or you, sometimes you want to eat some egg rolls. Sometimes you want to eat some lumpia. Sometimes you want to go to Panda Express. You know what I mean? Like you're just in the mood for it. Sometimes I just bought some ramen today. I mean Maruchan top ramen. I didn't have to do that. I'm up right now. I can buy everyone in the chat a ramen right now and I'll still be okay. Right? But um not that I don't want y'all to send me super chats. Not the best marketing strategy, but remember, y'all are my sponsors. But I bought some ramen because I sometimes want that. I like to have a well balanced, different. I like different variety. I think it's okay to listen to drill music and discuss it and have content that delves into that world, as well as high caliber intellectual debates over about loftier subjects. And I fancy myself as one of the people that are able to do all that. Not everybody has that ability. You feel me? Brandon and Flacco, the new Meek and Diddy C Loco Media, you might be onto something, dog. $2 from Juju Rose, justice for suspect. Yeah, I mean, like I don't like this, and I really hope I really, 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 my number one hope right now. And I don't mean hope who put Sharp on blast. I mean my wish to be a little bit taller, wish to be a baller, would be suspect. Please, please don't crash on Adam or No Jumper right now, because I think this is very resolvable, and this can be fixed. I think this can be fixed, and I do not want to see you make the same mistake that I did. And there's gonna be, I'm sure there's a lot of people pumping Sus up right now and telling him, "Go hard, we rocking with you. Fuck that white man." Da, 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 da. And look, like, okay, super chat's coming in kind of quick. I appreciate that. The armchair MVP with $2. Sus is in his live crashing right now. Bone D with $5. Love Lush, but suspect needed a reality check. Can't be tough with everybody. Have respect, especially if you know they can beat the fuck out of you. Milwaukee up. Shouts to Milwaukee. Y'all know I love y'all. I'm rapping on Hell the Jerk beats. You feel me? If it got this in it, I'm probably rapping over it. Oh, I really please, like, somebody with some decency try to encourage Sus to not crash on No Jumper. And I can understand him being frustrated. I can understand him being frustrated. Um, but I don't think that, like, if he wants to, and at this moment, he might not think that he does, but I would just, man, the viewers are still going to be there. There's still going to be an influx of people that are going to watch whatever he's saying next. I just would hold on to the moment a little bit longer and make you microwave Maruchan in the cup. What flavor? I have for sure microwaved it in the cup, but nah, I'm off the stove with it, gang. No cap. But I just got the other chicken one. What's it called? What's the better chicken one called? Creamy chicken. Creamy chicken. Creamy chicken. I ate three of them motherfuckers. It's not even so if you look on my page, the song's called Hurricane Heather that Mac Wap keeps referencing it with. Shouts to Mac Wap and for putting some light on that song, because I was just trying to get wavy. I was on my Max B bag, and I just hey, I'ma do something that you can't. Hey, it went. A broken clock is right twice a day. That was one of them ones. His 120 is 1 minute and 30 seconds of just me spazzing with a wavy hook over a wavy sample that I shot to young Kenny Malice to hook to cook up for a player, and that's it. I be doing this shit all the time. You be seeing me on the chats. Shouts to BTC Rap for the $2. I appreciate you, gangland. You feel me? Bitcoin up. Yeah, shoot me some Bitcoins. You feel me? What's up, man? My wallet need that. My wallet need that. I need my crypto history. Ooh, I ain't even trying to get into that with y'all. But yeah, no, shouts to the Hurricane Heather song. You could look up Lush One Hurricane Heather. It's on all streaming platforms, or if you could even see it on my YouTube channel, I think it says Lush One, this is Hurricane Heather, and everybody. There's never been like a full-on T-Rail diss track, although he's caught in bars in several. Heard no a few. I ain't even on T-Rail. Honestly, bro, like, I don't feel no type of way about T-Rail. I'll just say that. Like I really don't. But it's still funny to. I kind of look at him the same way I look at Brandon. Like I look at Fig Munity. They like they like pretend ops. I don't really look at them as the ops for real. Like we can make fun of each other all day long. Y'all pop y'all shit. I'm gonna pop my shit and be way crazier because I'm way funnier and way more entertaining. And I used to be way too nice to everybody. But if y'all pop shit, I'm gonna pop shit twice as hard. I'm funnier than y'all. I'm flyer. I'm iller. I'm better. You feel me? But like there's no real actual animosity. Um, there's no actual animosity. Almighty is not live, by the way. Y'all are capping. Um, but yeah, like I'm down to clown the fuck out of those fools. Deuce fo siete, deuce fo siete. You feel me? Flyer me, whatever. I'm just popping it. I'm just saying, I'm flyer. I'm better, bro. If you don't know what that means, if you ain't never felt flyer, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm flyerer. I'm flyerer. You feel me? I don't know. I'm flyerer. I'm betterer. What the fuck you want me to say, player? Hey, I will say. I mean, if Sus is live, totally understand it. I'm not gonna like drive traffic away from that. But what I don't need is my own mods directing traffic away from this live. Please and thank you. But I totally understand and like by all means see what he says. If anybody does go in that motherfucker, please encourage him to not crash. And I know a lot of y'all motherfuckers probably telling him to crash. But I don't know. I think he got more common sense. But I thought yesterday he wasn't gonna do what he did, so I'm not the best person to assess what Sus is or not gonna do. Bitcoin rap with another buck 50. Thank you, brother. Every penny counts in this hoe. You feel me? I'm just trying to run it up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, Call me Agent Double O Deuce 4 Block. I got the 9 Glock. I'm ready to put one in your not resting piss. Yeah. Come on, bro. Don't ever I mean actually you can do that all day. That's my favorite thing to do. But please, please do not crash out, sus. Like, please. There's still a relationship to be repaired there. There's no hate. There's no animosity between, Jumper and Sus. Sus, for the longest time, remained fucking loyal. Stayed 10 toes down. Wasn't talking shit. He has the longest running of anybody tenure of not going bad on No Jumper. He survived the Dark Ages. Him and Flacco are the only ones left that thugged it out during the mass exodus. There's behind the scenes people like fucking Josh and Jason and Donnie and Mikey, and I think that's where it ends, Laura. That might be literally where it ends, bro. Um, Compa is back on No Jumper, and hey, I always want to see my homies shine. It is what it is. I always want to see my homies shine, and I'm happy to see the homies shine. You know, and I believe there is redemption. I believe I repaired my relationship with Adam. This can be repaired with Sus, and they really haven't had any issue. Like the only thing was like I understand why Sus is frustrated, and I personally do not agree with him being fired. Um, but I totally understand why from outside perspective. But I really just think that Brandon is being a total agent of chaos and really doesn't care about just what I want Brandon to do is just admit, where can I send Miss Bang Bang some merch? You can, inbox on IG, and I will shoot you the info, brother. But yeah, of course. I mean, like, yeah. So again, I never saw the knife, the motherfucking Swiss Army knife. I heard it got a motherfucking magnifying glass. It got a compass. That bitch got a motherfucking a bottle opener. Got a wine corker on it. That shit. Handy dandy. A multitude of tasks that the Swiss Army Neezy can do. Um, you guys, I think it's time for me to hit this bong load, bro. It's been a fucking. I'm not happy about this. I ain't happy about this. I'm not happy at all. Um, Lush, you wouldn't be having this far troubles with drugs if you were. No, I'm like the weird thing is I am probably in the best position I've ever been at no jumper. I mean, it's not really a probably. I definitely am, and by far the most advantageous at this current moment. Now we know in no jumper world everything can change. You're right, fool. I'm a junkie flunky. But I keep it 1,000 wow funky every single time, player. You feel me? I done failed. I done got knocked the fuck out by fists, by life, by everything. And maybe there's a little bit of wisdom you could glean from the guy that went through the most shit and somehow came out and survived, put himself in the dumbest situations. You could either learn, hey, maybe I want to do what this guy did, or be like, I don't want to be like this guy at all. He is fucking retarded. Let me do the opposite of what he did. And in the meantime, he's good for a few laughs. So, it's you decide. You decide. But all I know, no, I'm very unhappy that Sus is gone. Just for the mere like on selfish reasons, same thing I said about Bricc. The chemistry that we had developed and the rhythm that we had going on the pod was getting really fucking good. And beyond me caring about him as a person, beyond me caring about his family, beyond me knowing that this actually means shit to him, and he's too prideful of a person to act like. I'm pretty sure he gonna be like, I don't give a fuck. Da, 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 da. I'm pretty sure, but that he'll be like that. But on the same token, I know that he really does care. Um, this bong loads for the homie Susker. That's my dog. I'm gonna do whatever I can to help him out, regardless. He still has my full support. The mere fact that Sus, I see there's similarities between me and Sus, and it might not be on the same level that y'all realize. There's differences. Like his pops and my pops are very different, but they're both highly exalted in their respective worlds, and we both could have followed directly in their paths, but we didn't. And we both subsequently want being innovative and originators and knock down doors in a whole different way. Then we chose our own paths, and for both of us, it was really successful in different times and in different ways. But Sus, like his dad being an auteur and originator of so many styles, the way that we rap, the way that we in this city express ourselves, and like there's still like if I told you that the indelible imprint that Cool himself, like beyond Project Blowed, beyond you feel me, Hip Hop Clan, any of that, but like good like bullies, all you know what I'm saying, like just Cool on his own. You could still hear his style in a lot of fucking rappers. A lot of rappers. There are trace origins that if you go back and look at the original spawn of that style, it traced back to fucking Cool. And then you gonna have to ask him whatever the fuck he was listening to, because that's where that came from. You feel me? Because he's an original strain. And Sus is pretty much an original strain too, all on his own. There might be remnants of this or that, but he created his own style, his own lane. Original. Right there, you can't put a price tag on that as far as I'm concerned. There's no price tag that you can put on originality for an artist. And I'm not exactly sure what it looks like or what capacity we'll be working together, but I do want to continue to fuck with Sus however I can. Much love, gang. With the $2 I just DM'd you, Lush. I'm all or nothing, gang, on IG. I got you, player. But I don't know what that looks like or how that's going to manifest. But I am going to continue, and he will have my support regardless. Whenever he drop, whatever he trying to do, I'm pushing his line, and like Sus gonna be all right. He a hustler. He gonna get to the bag one way or the other. But this is definitely a setback to a young family man with a young family, and it's not cool. It's not cool. I don't blame Adam whatsoever. Um, I think it would have been cool if they had more dialogue. But and it really was a misunderstanding on the No Jumper side because he had been spoken to about this, but he didn't know it was going down. He said off rip it wasn't a good idea. Flacco did say as well it wasn't a good idea. Now, I do find this like if you look though, like look at it like if No Jumper, if we're a team, we're down on the scoreboard to Long Beach in multiple capacities. But first, before I explain why, uh, Fonzarelli played with the $2 super chat. Lush, who is your favorite Thiz ENT rapper? So many of all times. I mean, obviously Dre, the GOAT. Love J Diggs. Um, when he was on Thiz, I loved all the Mr. Fab projects at that time. I was jamming so much of Fabby's music during the hyphy movement. Yellow Bus Rider, Son of a Pimp, all that shit. Like he was, that was There's who else on Thiz ENT though? There's so many different artists that I was. It seemed like everybody was on Thiz for a second. Um, I definitely Coolio, big fan of Coolio. Doobie, come on, bro. Yeah. But with that being said, Long Beach clearly up on the scoreboard. It all started during Cigarette Gate, we'll call it. Long Rest Gate. DW Flame asks Bricc Baby for a cigarette, using a term that this is the neighborhood card. Bricc winds up getting a lot of scrutiny for it because he didn't react. Because him and DW didn't stand on formalities. Their friendship superseded that. And they were able to joke around how homies joke around. If you have, I've seen it thousands of times. If you're a gang member from a specific section, like, and you have a homie from, I'm gonna answer your question, Gavin, after I talk about Long Beach. But I got you, and thank you for the super chat, player. The short answer is actually no. I'll answer you right now. I fuck with AWACS heavy, super super dope. Been a fan. AWACS, I think he's staying like Washington or some shit. If he like was ever in LA, I'd for sure love to interview you, bro. And he was raw, or he is raw, and like throughout his arcs and different beefs that he's had, and then becoming like a part of the strange music like adjacent world, and just like Wax is a straight joint, bro, and very 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 underrated, but deserves the respect that he do get. Sometimes when you say underrated, people take it the wrong way. Like, what? I get my respect. Yeah, he absolutely gets respect, and I feel like he deserves a lot more. So just to clarify, because people when they tell me like, Lush, you deserve more respect, be like, I guess my respect, bitch. What you mean? Nah, but like you're right. I deserve more respect. Straight the fuck up. So, yes, I can say on topic, but I do respect my sponsors, aka all of y'all. So when I get a super chat, no matter what I'm talking about, I'm finna address that motherfucker. So as I was saying, Long Beach, DW Flame and Bricc Baby, their relationship didn't stand on formalities. They were genuine homies. They could go back and forth how they did. However, that moment happened to be captured by the masses. That led to the infamous Kill Squad crash out, and then the subsequent calming down of Bricc that P Nice did, kind of bringing him back to reality. People kind of characterize it as him yoking up Bricc or marking out Bricc when it was more like a, hey fool, like your daughter's here, da, 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 chill. Like he's getting Bricc to not trip on a tone, security homie and shit. You feel me? So It's like, damn. And so that happens. Then then DW and them dip because he feels disrespected by Adam. And this is after his show was canceled too. They dip. He dips. Brings P Nice with him. Um, and then Viral Way and LBC Messiah and Tayford kind of have an exchange with Bricc. You feel me? Going back and forth with Bricc a little bit. Bricc wind up getting locked up, completely unrelated. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, had his whole situation, so that kind of stalled that. And then boom, where are we at after that? Um, Brandon come through and starts systematically taking out everybody at No Jumper. Bow, bow, bow. Pushing his agenda. Which, look, I think that his agenda should be a voice in No Jumper. But when you start trying to eradicate people, like getting suspect out the pen, I feel like this was delivered on his behalf. And people want to look at anybody but the guy that wanted to set up this battle. Was this his revenge? I don't know. That's what I feel like. Alcoholic Gamer with the $5 super chat. Raspberry tequila cranberry juice. Enjoy drinks on me. Lush thoughts on the lock cipher. Jadakiss though still a goat. Still a fire spitter. Come on, you already know. Jada Moi is that dude. Ben. This is why it was absurd when I said that I had personally Jada higher on my all-time list than DMX. Brandon, who has a very, very subpar knowledge of hip hop, if we're at best. I mean, I know more about racquetball than he knows about motherfucking hip hop, if we're keeping it a Yundelli. So, I mean, me trying to say Jada, to this day, Jada is that guy. We not playing. Lush and Grind Time was dope. Gold Bricks tape was fire. Lush. Carlos Maurice Pena. Hey, much love. Thank you. If you've been down for that long, you're talking about an album that dropped in 2011. How's you feel me? Damn near a decade and a half ago. Shouts to you. Much love. Thank you. I appreciate that. That is to this day probably definitely one of my favorite albums I ever put out. It needs to get put back out on digital streaming platforms. It's only currently available on Bandcamp and certain random YouTube videos. But yeah, damn, hey, you feel me? Roach Bowl King out here. Y'all already know the Roach Bowl King. That's what made me start doing these cigarette bongos. Come on, man. You carried it though with the Thai boho shit. He is a Thai boho. Hey, I appreciate that. Carrying Tubman is hilarious. Nah, you fucking tripping, bro. Like that's the dumbest narrative ever. You feel me? Like obviously, I suspect knows I have nothing but the best intentions for him always, and have only wanted to see that brother win, and that continues to be the energy. And I'd much rather have him over there. Who you think like you think he'd Flacco out on his nonsense, or fucking Brandon? Now I'm on the pod with Brandon. Like No Jumper has a crazy history of former rival gang members or like direct real life um enemies of each other. I don't want, I'm looking for the right word because enemies is a strong word. Replacing each other on podcasts. That is way too gnarly, bro. Way too gnarly. Oh my bad, Rod. No, someone said like, Les, you got sus lined up, pussy. Like that is the dumbest thing. Like there's so many flaws of that reasoning and design, including me not even being responsible for booking or setting this up or anything. But yeah, of course, did I want to see them have the conversation? Yeah. Did I think that it would have been a good look for Sessa's career? Absolutely. And until the last 10 minutes of that podcast, it was. It was. He had the ups. That's the other reason why Brandon felt the need to continue to antagonize him. Because Brandon ain't taking no L's over there. He's ruthless. Respect. Respect to him. He's a cold motherfucker. I thought I was the biggest snake. I think I just encountered. I think I just encountered an anaconda. Because this is another level. He just slithered his way through. And somehow, some way, man, caught everybody slipping. Caught everybody slipping. But like no jumper, like when they attempted to, like I was surprised that Sus agreed to actually do it. So when I'm like seeing the initial text coming in, I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, so this is what's happening? Sus agreed. And then I guess it wasn't going to his new phone contact or whatever. I guess not everybody had his new phone number. And yeah, he doesn't find out till the day of. And I understand like the people's narrative, and I can understand him feeling that way genuinely, of not wanting to show up as a result of potentially looking some type of way. But all of that is like just really ego driven thinking if you think about it, because you do not, if you really feel like it's that precarious of a situation, you should not go. And you know, you're more street smart than me, Almighty. You should know that. If it's that spunky, it's not worth it. But I also know he's probably conflicted because he's that dedicated to his job and he's getting an opportunity on one of the shows that he's not regularly featured on. Like, it's a tough situation, bro. It's a tough situation. Yeah, and again, I would say the biggest misstep, if anything, was him not. And I know there's reasons why, but him not wanting to go outside and handle it. Like, it could have been handled outside, down the block, whatever. You feel me? But uh, man, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Astral. Very unfortunate. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad that Almighty got viewers right now, and I really hope that they don't guide him in a bad direction. As a matter of fact, like matter of fact, I'm gonna get up off here so I could watch Sus's live as well. And I just wanted to make sure that I logged in with y'all. Mina's reactions and Cloud Mania TV will be in Vegas all week next week. Probably won't go live. I don't want y'all to stock me out there. I mean, that's probably a wise decision because we know. But then again, if you're not an actual torso, if you're not an inflatable doll, his desire for you may be quelled because that seems to be who he's victimizing the most nowadays. Justice for the rubber dolls, for Claudia and Olivia and Bernice and his whole entire collection of multiracial rubber baddies. With that being said, I appreciate y'all. Had on all the pictures. I will definitely do Jeremy live. But let's go support Almighty Suspect in his live. I'm not trying to, you feel me? He going crazy. He got over 3,000 viewers. Let's slide over there. Shouts to y'all for logging in. I just wanted to make sure that I go live every day, like I said I do. I may or may not go live again later. If not, y'all can catch me tomorrow at noon on the No Jumper Show. And I will be going live on here as well at some point tomorrow later on. Much love. And I will also be hosting the Crack City Cypher with Active, Dre Vicious, and a bunch of other dope MCs tomorrow. So more info on that coming soon. And never counterfeit. I'm about my grip, and we